Hello world and hello dear fans of Mate Debunked. My name is Susanna and I'm the creator of Mate Debunked. How are you all doing? I know it's been a while since I've connected with all of you and since I've recorded a video. I'm supposed to have had this video number 10 done like last week or a couple weeks ago. So I do apologize, but no excuses. But I have been sick. Well, not sick in terms of the cold or flu sense, but I had some really bad skin allergies and I broke out in hives all over my neck, and it was actually quite traumatic and dramatic. It was like pretty bad. So I had to see a few doctors and get on a lot of prescription medication and a lot of sleepless nights. So, but I'm happy to report that I'm finally feeling better and finally able to get a good night's rest. So I wanted to jump at the opportunity to get a video out to you as soon as I can. So anyways, without further delay, let's get on to today's video topic, which is doing something courageous. So this one, and by the way, it's my video number 10, so I think it's kind of appropriate that I talk about doing something courageous, because 10 videos ago, I never would have thought that I'd be doing something like this. But I have to say that it is getting easier, and I think the challenge now is not actually being in front of the camera, but for me, a bit of the challenge is finding good video topics. So I'm sure that as I get into the swing of things, the topics will come more easily, and I'm actually open to any of your suggestions as well. So, all right, anyways. Getting to the topic, doing something courageous. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because a few videos back, or there's other videos where I talk about self-confidence. And I think that self-confidence and courage goes hand in hand. Now I just want to clarify that when I'm talking about courage here, I don't mean courage in terms of doing something big or grand. I don't mean courage in the sense of doing something that's big and adventurous and adrenaline seeking. So it's not about skydiving or bungee jumping, although of course those are courageous acts, but that's not what I'm talking about in this video. When I'm talking about courage, it's the small acts, it's the small gestures, it's the small things that you do in your everyday, day-to-day life that make the difference. And again, what I was just saying previously in terms of why I wanted to talk about this and tying it in with self-confidence is because I believe that if we want to improve or have self-confidence or improve your self-confidence, it has to start with having the courage to do the things that you are uncomfortable with doing. You have to have the courage to step out of your comfort zone. But once you have the courage to do that, your self-confidence improves, and when your self-confidence improves, then you get the courage to move on to do even bigger things, or step out of your comfort zone even more, right? So they actually go hand in hand, and when you do one, it actually helps the other, right? So now I think also with being courageous, it's really about, for me, when I talk about being courageous, it's about showing up for yourself. It's about being curious about life. It's about exploring. So it's not necessarily about stepping out of the comfort zone, which is the big thing, but your curiosity for life, your need to want to explore and to grow and evolve, really, is constantly nagging at you, or is at the back of your mind, or it's what your soul is saying. And so you want to have the courage to be able to act on those feelings, or to act on kind of those thoughts that you have, right? So there's so many obviously reasons why we need to do courageous things every day in our life and to consistently be doing it. And it's not about waiting it, to put it all into one big basket and doing that one big courageous act. That's not what we're talking about. So, and I think there's three main reasons why we are most of the time held back from doing courageous acts. So first and foremost is, and I think it's obviously one of the biggest reasons for many people, is fear. So it's fear of judgment or rejection. It's fear of judgment from other people, family or friends. It's fear of judgment from society, but it's also fear of judgment from ourselves. I think oftentimes we are our worst own critic, and we judge ourselves quite harshly, and much more probably than others would judge us, right? So that's reason number one. Reason number two is obviously what I was saying previously, in terms of, so many of us live in our bubble, and we live in our bubble of comfort, security, and control. And I mean, I'm guilty of this, and we don't want to step out of that bubble. It's frightening, it's nerve-wracking, it's terrifying, right, to step out of our comfort zone. But we must do that, and the best way to do that is to really have those small acts of courage every day. And I'll give you an example later on. But number three, in terms of, I think, the reason why we get held back from doing courageous things, is that I think oftentimes want to wait for that perfect moment, or we want to wait until we feel good about ourselves, or the opportunity is right, or the circumstances are perfect or just right before we venture out and do something courageous. So at the end of the day, those are all the excuses, right? Those are all the reasons why we get held back. And at the end of the day, when I'm saying let's just do something courageous, just the small things to do every day, we don't want to get into the situations where every day we have to overanalyze and overthink about even doing something, the small acts of courage, right? Just think about what you want to do as something that's, just a little bit of, something that's stepping out of your comfort zone, and then just do it. But the key thing is you have to do it daily and on a consistent basis. And I know for those of you that follow Joanne, it takes 21 days to form a habit, and I think 3 months for it to actually, for you to notice a change in your life. So, in terms of the small acts of courage, one example that I can give is if you're, shy to speak up or to connect with anybody, or you have a fear of speaking up, practice going out every day, and this ties into some of the previous videos, but practice every day and go out and say hi or smile to someone. And maybe stepping it up even more is opening up a conversation with someone and say, hi, how are you doing? Just ask that. So anybody that you're dealing with from a customer service perspective, whether if you're buying your coffee or you're going to 7-Eleven or wherever whoever customer service person you're interacting with that day, rather than just, keeping your head down, giving them the money or doing your debit card, make eye contact, smile at someone and say, hi, how are you today? And just do that. Now, granted, of course, they might just shut you down. They might just shut you up. They may totally ignore you, and they may have their head down. And that's fine. That's okay. But that shouldn't stop you. Just because someone doesn't react favorably to what you're trying to achieve in your act of courage should never stop you from progressing and moving forward and trying it every day. Okay? So try that. And again, what I was saying earlier, so those small acts of courage will eventually lead to greater self-confidence. And then when you have greater self-confidence that you've mastered that and you're really okay and comfortable with, interacting on that smaller or that smaller level, move on to something else, right? So that's what I really want to talk about when we're speaking about courage. So again, it's nothing big or grand, it's something courageous. But who knows, maybe doing some of these small things will help you improve your self-confidence so much that you may, try the skydiving or bungee jumping. I've tried neither one of them, so I do want to, but I'll get to it. I got to get enough courage to get to. I got to get over my fear of heights first, so we'll get to that. But I think the other big thing is that when we're not courage enough, when we don't have enough courage in our lives, it really holds us back from really experiencing life. Because I think from a soul level, obviously, but from a human level, we all want to grow, we all want to learn, we all want to explore, we all want to experience, but we're so fearful of trying anything new, and we're so fearful of being judged, and we want to stay in our bubble, that it takes that courage to be able to step out of that comfort zone. So that's why I wanted to talk about this topic today, because I really do think that it's important, and it's one of the cornerstones of if you want to evolve, you really need to have the courage to do anything, whatever it is that you have on your mind, right? So, but it's not easy, it doesn't come automatic for everybody, so that's why I suggest starting with the small steps. As with everything, start with the small steps and then gradually build upon it. But you have to promise yourself that you got to do it on a consistent and daily basis. Okay, so give that a try, and I think I'm gonna practice what I preach in for my challenge, or what I have to be courageous enough to do is to attempt to record a video in Cantonese. So there you go, that's going to be my own self-challenge. But the reason there's another reason why I want to record the video in Chinese is because when I upload it to YouTube, I know that they have an auto caption feature, and I'm curious to see that if I speak in Cantonese, if the auto caption will I guess translate the proper, or type out the proper Chinese words. So that would be great if it did, because then that means that in the future videos it'll be much quicker for me to get a Chinese version out to you. And yes, I guess it also means I'll have to record English and Cantonese version, but if it works out, that's fine. Who knows, maybe that's what I meant to have to do anyways, right? So anyways, that's my own personal challenge, but I'm curious to see what your challenge may be for your own acts of courage. And as always, I'm always delighted and happy to hear and read your comments, feedbacks, or suggestions. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video topic, and again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So we're getting up there, but my next target is 1,000 now. So I think we're at about 350, but I'm going to try to get to 1,000. And the other thing is I'm going to be announcing something exciting for next week, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, thank you again all for tuning in. So we will get another one out to you, the Chinese one, very soon. Anyways, take care, lots of love. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.